Greetings, Dan McDonald here, Life Regenerator on YouTube. So today I'm going to tell you why I think it's a good idea to take flu shots to help to protect yourself from COVID-19. So just give me a few minutes of your time. I'll try to be as brief as possible. But I also want to be thorough because I've been getting a lot of questions about this. And I want to make sure that you understand this protocol. Okay, so the flu shots to help enhance immunity. What is the best source of medicine? That's right. Right here, what we have is turmeric. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the ground, okay? And then the greens shoot up from right here and the roots continue to grow. So obviously turmeric is a root vegetable, an herb. I've also got some ginger. And I've also got some orange juice, of which I spared you the 3 minutes that it took to make it with this juicer, which is actually on my website. I get a lot of questions about that. Finally, I answered it. That juicer is available on my website, regenerateyourlife.org. That link is down below. I also have an online school over there if you really want to get educated and invest in some of my online classes so that you can learn what you need to do to protect yourself. And it's basically the same thing I've been saying for 11 years. Okay? So right now, I've got some orange juice, and you can use grapefruit, tangelo. You can use lemon and lime if you want to. It won't be as sweet, but these are the flu shots, okay? So I'm gonna take, and then I'm gonna explain the protocol, because this is where I've been getting the most amount of questions, and I just wanna be really, really clear. So, but first I'm gonna, now I gotta rinse some of this because it's got a lot of dirt in there. Most of you never see the turmeric coming to you. It's usually way more broken up than that by the time it gets to you on the mainland over there and stuff. A lot of turmeric grown here in Hawaii. And then I've got some ginger. And I'm going big, so go big on this ginger and turmeric right now. Those are like two of the best medicines that you can have in your arsenal to keep your immune system high with a lot of antiviral properties. Yeah, so I'm gonna just juice this real quick and then I'll get into the topic of today. So, the best thing that you can do right now is to detoxify yourself. And I really didn't want to go over this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Do viruses make people sick, or do sick people make viruses? Now you know, and then of course, all of a sudden it popped into my head, layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of context in terms of what's actually happening right now in this hysterical world. I am not hysterical. I am not afraid at all. And yet I am a prepper. I've been preparing for this forever. And thankfully, I live in a place where you don't need much. You can actually drink the tap water, although I don't. I just take it and I distill it. So I've got, a lifetime supply of water, and there's a spring that I can ride my bike to about, probably 5 miles away, if that. About 5 miles probably. And then I got to hike through the jungle a little bit. And I've got a whole bunch, I've probably realistically 3 or 4 months. I wish I could say 6, but it's probably more like 3 or 4 months worth of sproudables, almonds, mung beans, oats, raisins, apricots, dried, dates, tons of honey, herbs. The most important thing that I have is I just put in another order for the Pyridine because I want to make sure I'm loaded up. I also sending some to my mom. I'm going to send some to my kids so that everybody has that. But I put in a huge order for myself because I know the value of particularly this one here, the herbal blood. But I've had a lot of questions about the protocol. 1.5 quarts. So let's take a flu shot. That isn't even as strong as I wanted it to be, to tell you the truth. But I'm not going to fire the juicer back up. That'll have to be good enough for now. But I like to go heavy or go home. There's another thing I'd like to point out to you before I forget. I got this on hand. It's like, so far, I've obviously been able to get fresh turmeric and fresh ginger, but our markets closed down. So we no longer have farmers markets. So I've got some dried turmeric and some dried ginger. Organic, obviously, is best. I've also got a couple of different types. I've got Vietnamese cinnamon and Ceylon cinnamon. And those are also antiviral herbs that I've got. But over here, what I've got is the protocol. And so what I'm recommending right now, just until this thing chills out, is let's make it easy. You know what I'm saying? And I'll take my shot and I'll take my medicine. I'll show you how to do it. Now, so if I was a little kid and I was like, whatever, I would say more like, probably like 12 and under. You take 2 of each. You take 2 of the Pyridine, which are super concentrated, medical grade enzymes. And that will help to break up all of the waste matter in your body. It will also help to purify your blood. So I am going to do 8 because 2, 2, and 2 for a kid. Once in the morning and once at night before bed. That way you've got the antivirals pumping through your blood while you sleep at night. And I got the idea from Dave and Phil, who are over there. Dave is Phil's son. Phil is the vice president of Pyridine. Lou Corona is the president and CEO of Pyridine, and Dave is Lou's nephew and Phil's son. And Dave, as many of you might remember, used these to eliminate a major chronic condition that he had. I won't say what that is because the thing is, I can't make any claims for this stuff. But what I can say is that if you create pure blood through the various means full of antiviral elements, medicines of the earth, then you are going to be an inhospitable host, not only for viruses to replicate, but you're also going to bulletproof yourself against parasites, fungus, yeast, and molds. And that's the diet that I've always promoted, is what's the best diet to purify your blood. Now, I am sick and tired of the diet wars, but I will say this. IMO, in my opinion, cherries, blackberries, cranberries, pomegranates, strawberries, apples, oranges build far superior blood. So what I see in the world today is a whole bunch of sick people giving out health advice. If they took a 14-day water fast, they would probably keel over and die. because there's so much junk in their gastrointestinal tract. And that's what the Purizyme is for, to break that up. Enzymes are grown on mushrooms, mycelium. Mycelium in the soil, their function is to create a bridge between the elements in the soil, all the different elements, minerals, and the medicinal qualities in the soil, create a bridge in the rhizosphere for the roots so that the roots can uptake nutrition. The mycelium family is also the underlying cause of the breakdown. So enzymes break down the mycelium, the enzymes that are grown on the mycelium break down all of the junk in your gastrointestinal tract, because enzymes are precursors to all biological functions. And what you see in today's day and age is that everybody is enzyme deficient because everyone's been cooking their food, eating processed food, stressing out, overeating, under-exercising. So we're not getting enough movement, and we're getting way too much food. So you can see on the average person, when people see me, they say, "You're skinny." It's like, no, I look like the guy on the anatomy charts in all the medical books. When I stand there like this, you look at me and you're like, oh, you look like that guy that's in every single medical textbook in the world for the male body. Now, I'm not saying it's not cool to have some muscles or have a different type of frame as an endomorph or a mesomorph or whatever. I'm an ectomorph, but obviously somewhere between ecto and meso, they put that guy, because I'm an ecto-mesomorph, vata pitta, right in the middle, and I'm the guy on the anatomy charts. And so what you see in today's day and age is that everybody is bloated and has all the salts and all the artificial fats and all the fried foods and the fragmented residues of the cooked food. And you see like monkeys, and you see like zebras, and you see like all the animals. They don't have a layer of fat and mucus and pus on their bodies. And so the most important thing that you can do right now, what you can learn from all this, what's going on in the world today, is that it is time for you to cleanse yourself out, to detoxify. Eight of those. That's 8 Purizyme for a grown man. Once in the morning, once at night. Once this thing is over, you go back to the maintenance dose to protect yourself from the crazy world, which is going to be World War III will be fought with biological weapons. So now is the time to do many, 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 many things and be on a real crash course to change your life from, the fruits and vegetables. I've heard this from many people, many, many people. The fruit and vegetable section is still full. And I've seen this myself at these stores. And the Hot Pockets are gone. The cookies are gone. The soda is gone. So is the rice and the oatmeal and that stuff too. I understand that. That is how our consciousness, that's our prepping consciousness in the U.S. Soda, Hot Pockets, toilet paper. Well, you're going to need it. So the people are fighting over the last Hot Pocket. The smart guys over there in the produce department buying all the bananas and taking them home and putting them in the dehydrator and dehydrating some bananas and taking the pineapples and dehydrating those too. Can you dig it? And getting, food that at least is not Hot Pockets and soda. It's like drink battery acid, eat diarrhea. Quick, we got to survive, It's just hilarious what's happening. It's just funny how humans think. It's just hilarious, this whole thing. I mean, I ain't tripping at all. I mean, I ain't tripping about no virus. You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping about like the way, anyways, the people are freaking out, but that's just the way it's always done. Remember when the terrorists, I never freaked out about that either. Because I was pretty sure there wasn't a terrorist living under my bed, although the news media made it sound like it was. There's a terrorist on every corner. This is the herbal blood. This is the most important thing to get. I just ordered 3 more of those and I already have a whole bunch in the cupboard. But I'm keeping the herbal blood because that has all the antivirals. You can look it up online, I'll read it to you here. Wormwood, black walnut, clover flower, garlic, rhubarb, turmeric, golden seal, pumpkin seed, barberry, butternut, fennel. All of those are antivirals to keep the viruses from procreating. Well, not procreating, but dividing. To make themselves proliferate. Anti-proliferative antivirals. So don't become a host because of the sickness. The people eating the Hot Pockets should think twice. You know, it's a time to fast. Juice fast, water fast. It's the time to clean yourself out. Juice fast on the paradigm stuff. So I digress. I got sidetracked. For the kids, 2, 2, and 2. Once in the morning and once at night. For the women, 6, 6, 6. Once in the morning, once at night. For the men, 8 in the morning and 8 at night. Now, if you're a very large person and haven't been doing very well with your diet, you may want to think of even taking more. You may want to think about going to get a couple colonics, take a day off from food, read some books on fasting, look on the internet. I wouldn't listen to too much of that stuff because nobody knows what the hell they're talking about, except Lauren Lockman. He's got the fasting thing pretty well handled because that's what he does, you know. And I still think there's a few things that I've added to my fasting consciousness through experience that he doesn't like to do. I really appreciate the hygienists, Herbert Shelton, Howard Carrington, and all those old school dudes. They had their brains. But nowadays, everyone's like, well, you don't want to fast more than 3 days, and you can drink coffee, apple cider vinegar, stevia drinks, and all this other crap. And it's like, but the consciousness is just down, down, down through the floor of what was once. But it's always been rare for those who really were woke to the real truth about what's actually really going on inside this meat suit. You know, it's an ecology, it's an environment, and it's consciousness and electricity, and it's light. It's light, it's electricity. And so you can dumb that down, and then you got to suppress always, because wherever you're vibrating at, that's where you're going to want to keep yourself. And so to evolve out of the heaviness of the heavy foods and the heaviness of the drugs and the heaviness of the emotions and the heaviness of the heavy thoughts, which I get it, man. Believe me, I'm not sitting here trying to be a condescending dick saying I ain't struggled or I ain't suffered, you know. Because believe me, my friends, you know, y'all don't even know me really, what I've been through. And I ain't trying to tell no sob story either, because I'm a badass, I'm a soldier. And I'm grateful to God for all the challenges that I've been through to become who I am in this moment. Completely ready. Completely ready for whatever. Any of it. Anything. Yeah. Whatever comes, you know. Walk on. unattached. I don't know if this is more than 8, but 8, 8, and 8, this is more like 10 or something, but whatever, I didn't count. Probiotics. Probiotics. Mmm. Mmm. 222 for the kids. 666 for the ladies. Oh! Jesus crushed the devil. And 888 for the dudes. And just do that in the morning and at night, and then keep all those antivirals and enzymes and probiotics. You just be like, you'll be like fire. And then you get on these fresh tonics loaded with antivirals and vitamin C with the turmeric and the ginger. If you do this, it's over. Not even a problem. It's a beautiful day. I mean, we're here in the middle of a goddamn hurricane, tornado. It's chilled out for now. It's about to start up again. The whole place is flooding. I mean, it's like Armageddon. And, you know, that song, it will not leave my head. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine, which is true. I feel great. I just ain't tripping. And then people will be like, well, that's you live in paradise. I chose to live in this concentration camp called a city. I don't mean to put anyone down. That's kind of a dick thing, but it's like, yo, man. I've seen this coming. I saw this coming. And I don't mean to be condescending either in that way. I'm not one of those preppers. I don't have a, you know, I don't have a 257 loaded with 100 rounds of stuff. If that happens, no guns are even allowed here anyways. So the other guy and I are going to be fighting with machetes over my, you know, apricots. And he's going to be looking, he want my antivirals and stuff. So I'm going to lock up the paradigm stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because that's medicine. So load up on that. There's no shame in my game, man. You know what I'm saying? I own this. I own what I'm doing right here. Because this is the time to have this stuff. Maybe before everything was cool, because you weren't going to be on lockdown and there wasn't a pandemic. It was coming. They've been telling us for years. Years and years. You have to watch and listen. Basically, if you listen to Bill Gates, he'll tell you everything that's coming because he's the one making it all happen. You know? And so, you know, it's just, I'm just like, okay, there's a pandemic coming. We knew that, what, last summer? 2 years ago. You know, these guys, it's all very well orchestrated. This is not, it never was. Just like 9/11, perfectly orchestrated. None of this crap surprises me. This time it's a little more movie-esque. You know, the 911 thing, that came and went pretty quick. It was just one big, huge thing, and then it was like, okay, the terrorists are gone. Well, they played it, you know, but the buildings weren't falling. Now, you know, the people are still being affected. And there are a lot of reasons, man, but I'm just not even going to go into it today. Because I just do not even feel like it. And I've seen the internet getting more and more toxic. And I'm not going to be a part of that. People can call me whatever names. It's like, I know, I just, in my last video about it, God, I don't know, it was about 2 weeks ago. I was crying like a little bitch. I don't like me, I'm ugly. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm over it, dude. You know? I'm just over it. The internet is fake. It always was. I was trying to make a fake artificial world. My world was real because I was doing this and I was using this every day and I was eating these and I was eating these and I was taking a colonic in the middle of a long water fast. and I was going outside to exercise and breathe and stretch every day and go to yoga and serving my community as best as I could. And when people ask for help, I try to help. People get mad as hell. They're like, why don't you answer my questions? I'm like, I don't even remember where I didn't see it. Facebook, YouTube, people are mad as hell that I'm not always in my comment section. I'll browse it through real quick, but I'm just not, you can't go crazy. All these other dudes, they have people managing all that stuff. So they make it look like, oh, he's writing me back. No, he's hired somebody. I got to do it all myself. You want Dan McDonald to go nuts? I'm already crazy, according to the other people. It might be that I actually was the sane one the whole time, thinking of keeping my gut clear, keeping my lymphatic system clear, trying to preserve my nervous system from a world gone mad, because the organovegetative system here hasn't changed that much. I mean, if you look at an orangutan and you look at a human, it's like, okay, the orangutan, who's a frugivore, their gastrointestinal tract from mouth to anus looks a hell of a lot more like a human's than a carnivore, like a lion or a wolf. But, like I said, I'm tired of the diet wars. Eat whatever you want. But I did see this dude the other day say that red meat was the greatest immune boosting food that there is. I beg to differ. I don't really even think that food, aside from the negative effects that it has on the overloaded stomach and the residuals of the waste matter in the gastrointestinal tract. So if you don't have a toxic environment in your gut, then your immune system, whatever microbes are in there to keep themselves going that don't want to be overtaken by pathogens, then they're going to say, hey, no, man, we can't have you. And they get rid of it. And there's a lot of factors. One of them is vaginal birth, the other one is breastfed, the other one is avoiding antibiotics as medicine and antibiotics that are sprayed all over our modern day food. So I understand all the confusion and the madness and the cacophony and the insanity. I like to, walk barefoot. I like to go out in the rain with no shirt. My skin is an organ of detoxification. I don't drink my own piss. I don't drink my own urine. I'm not gonna, now or ever. Number one, I've seen the people that do it, and they don't look healthy to me at all. No offense to anybody that drinks their own urine. I just don't, never have. Never will. There's just no way. That's not, because I know what I am. I know what I live off of. I know what I am. I know what I am at the core. This thing is a manifestation of it. And the reason why I'm able to stay so calm is because I have accepted death, what the world calls death, or the relinquishment of this physical suit, which is going to age and stop working. And then I'm going to leave this thing behind. But I have accepted the inevitability of that. And so I don't have to be afraid of any of this. Every day's a bonus. And when the time comes, the time comes. And I'm ready for it. So I'm at peace. Can you dig it? Y'all take care of yourselves now, okay? Thanks everyone on Patreon. I'm coming over there with a super extra special video soon. A bonus video for the month. and we're going to have a conversation. I'm just going to sit down and just chill out, talk to my Patreon people. So thanks everyone on Patreon. Be patient. I can't even figure the goddamn thing out. And I don't have a computer. My computer stopped working like 9 months ago. And I just got rid of it. And so all I have is this phone, and so the Patreon thing is a little bit harder to manage with just the phone. So I might have to go to the library or whatever to get these things up there properly or whatever. So please be patient with me, but I will come with some really good stuff for the Patreon, and then I'll also announce discounts on consultations for the patrons at the Elite Video Club, and then I will obviously also the Elite Video Club will have, if the world ever goes back to normal, the Elite Video Club will have seniority when it comes to the private retreats. Can you dig it? Honestly, I don't even want to let you go. I mean, I feel today, dude, it's weird how it takes the end of the goddamn world for me to say, to hell with it. I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't believe, but it was it's old wounds, man. We're talking ancient, way the hell back, childhood, man. And then the YouTube was just this like mirror for these very traumatic experiences as a child. I mean, like, not the worst, because some people got it worse than me, I know. I've talked to a lot of people, and this world is insane. People are crazy. They do the craziest, grossest, low-level shit, man, to each other. We've been raping and killing and beating each other, and it's just, we are strange. The humans are just so strange. They just don't know that much about love and peace. I don't think they've ever experienced it. It's so much pain that it's just rape and pillage and kill and hurt and negative. Yes, every once in a while, a bunch of humans get around and dig a dog out of a hole or something. They still do good stuff. Maybe the media never promotes that, but still, like, we've been like, we just they should never have been like all the wars and stuff, we're just killing each other for what? Some rich white dude wanted to get more stuff, and he wanted control, and he just manipulated, and we just kill. So all the young men are killing each other, not really understanding, and it's all just hype. All of it. It's all been, and it all is, right now, one big lie. It's all it's ever been. It's never, ever been the truth. Because those that wish to control the narrative don't want to be found out. Whether it goes all the way back to the king of Egypt, or the Caesar of Rome, or the President of the United States, man. The common man isn't going to hear the truth about the way things are. He has to, or she has to, figure that out for themselves. And if you walk outside your door and you find the trees and the rivers and the rain and the sun and the waterfalls, and listen to the birds and see the owl fly by and watch the blades of grass grow and grow herbs and look at soil and look at streams and watch the fruit come, fall, and go, and then you watch the blossom come again, and year after year you watch the same tree grow. And one year when the rain was heavy, like this year, the citrus was insane. And then the next year was, wow, there's 4 oranges on the tree. This year the branches are breaking from so many oranges because of all the rain. And you see these things and you begin to love and appreciate the flow of nature. and you try to find a way to live truly naturally. Now I realize a lot of the things I do, yes, these don't grow on trees, and yes, the juicer don't grow on trees. And I myself am working my way back to like mono meals and simple basic foods like soaked almonds with lettuce and lime juice is a good meal for me. So those simple foods, you know, they don't make for very good videos though, you know, maybe they would make for good mukbangs and stuff, but this kind of stuff is cool, you know, it's fun, it's cool, it's very useful. We're trying to make up for a totally insane, imbalanced society where sickness has been promoted, sickness has been cultivated, sickness has been nurtured in our minds, in our diet, in our food, in our corporations, in our schools, in our health care. Sickness is promoted in the health care most of the time unbeknownst to the small guy. He just got his training from up above that had a plan long ago to teach him what they wanted him to think. So they think there is no cure for anything. But we can suppress your symptoms with these pills, or maybe we can cut out a vital organ and you know, put black tape over the check engine light. But does that fix the engine? No. So that's why dudes like me. Now it's hard. I have hardly ever met anyone who wanted to hear the real truth. Sorry to say it. I have not found an avenue for that yet. I wanted to make like a program and charge like $300 for it. Like the real truth, you know? But I've never really met anyone in real life that was even interested in what I've experienced and what I've read and what I know from my own experience, but people are just not ready for it. And everyone says they are, but in real life, I never meet them. And these are highly advanced souls. But when it comes to diet, but that's just one aspect of it. It's just, the diet is one aspect of it. But then what about this thing? Does this thing have any relevance in how your life, you know, manifests? Or your external world? Does the way you eat affect your mind? Does your mind and thoughts affect your perception? Does the emanations of your chemical emotional states due to those states of mind affect your resonant energy? Is love more powerful than hate? Hey, sometimes anger is better than apathy. Sitting in a rocking chair going, there's no hope. At least if you're angry, you might even get up and do something. Then you can get up to like, you know what? I'm going to take this anger and I'm going to turn it into, transform it into courage. You know? And then from courage, you can say, wow, yeah, I transcended my fear, which is way down at the bottom of the scale. And it was really the fear that was the foundation for the apathy, or the anger, or the guilt, or the shame. But once you get to that line of courage, you want to build that baby up to love, loving yourself. And these are just fancy words, believe me. I know what it's like to be a human being. But we still have to keep, even if the teacher, this guy, this puppet, even if the teacher isn't perfect, he still needs to continue to share the basic principles of the cultivation of love, the cultivation of thoughts that travel faster than the speed of light, the thoughts and the unconscious that affect the perception. Can we change our perception? Yeah, we all did mushrooms. We all did toad. We did a lot of LSD. So the cop's face is just melting. And you're like, holy shit, man. I am higher than a kite. And this cop knows it, but I don't have any drugs on me. And I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just that his face is melting down into the ground, and he's a African American cop, and he's prejudiced against white dudes, and I'm reading this, and his partner's like, sorry dude, my dude hates long-haired white dudes that are obviously high but ain't got no drugs on him. And he wants to find a way to bust your ass today, but he ain't got nothing on you. And so I was just like, yo. Now this was all quiet while I was telling the cop, I'm cool, man, I'm just riding my bike. I didn't tell the cop that his face was melting off in front of me. But we had those experiences that alter our perception. You reach your arm out and it's like, oh my God, my arm is 10 miles long, you know. Grass crawling up your legs. A big log that looks like a cat. Your friend bangs his head and everyone there is tripping and they think he's bleeding to death. And then when you get back to his house and turn the light on, it's like this little tiny nothing. And we all thought there was blood everywhere. And so we've had those shifts in perspective. And then we get to the point where we no longer need those plant medicines, as what they're called. Because some people are really, really stuck. There comes a point when you get humbled by the true spiritual path and you do it without any of it. And then you say, am I being an egotistical jerk? Can I be humble? Can I be honest with myself? Do I really need to pretend like I'm something that I'm not to cover over this illusion of lack? And you get to the point where you do realize, like I've said in the last video, people say, you're more than average. I'm average, man. I don't want to be anything other than average, plain Joe. I don't want to be special. Your ego wants to be special, but along with that specialness comes not specialness. And that's what you fear. And so now you've got this ego specialness, so you have to avoid the unspecialness. But what if you were just you, and if you weren't special, that'd be okay too? What if you were not special? Could you live with that? You know, and as you get closer and closer to God consciousness, you need less and less approval from the outside. Now, I'm like the last guy to say that, but maybe that's the reason why I learned it, because all I wanted was my mommy and daddy's love. So I went up with all these chicks. I had a girlfriend when I was 19. Well, 17 to 19. And then that's when I got onto the meth and totally screwed that up. She did meth for a little while, but she was like, this is stupid. And of course, me, Mr. Extreme, I got meth junkie addict because it was already in my blood because of the amphetamines, you know, that they give you when you have ADD, because you have the immunoexcitotoxicity from the presence of chemicals and viruses and heavy metals that get injected into you as a child. And now this world is so insane that they're still lining up, taking their kids in to go get pumped full of God knows what. And that's what's coming down the pipeline. They've got the little microchips in the vaccine. Everyone's going to want it. God, 18 months away. Bill Gates invests on the front end and then, you know, makes billions on the back end. The guy's still a businessman. It's just that it's under the guise of philanthropy. It's amazing how stupid people are, but whatever. They're like, he's a genius. No, he's intellectual, but that doesn't mean diddly squat. Because if you don't combine all that data from the million pieces of books you've read and you eat at McDonald's, if you don't combine that with your heart chakra, you notice, look at interviews with Mr. Gates. It's like there's no heart chakra at all. It's like this. In all his interviews, man, there's no heart chakra, you know? I can feel it, baby. I can feel my love for the truth. So that's coming down the pipeline. I don't mean to scare you. I'm just saying, like, you know, have your machete out. I don't have a gun, but don't let these fools take away your Second Amendment rights. It can't happen. We're smarter than they think we are. We really are. We're smarter than they think we are. And we're more resilient than they were hoping we would be. Everything they try is like, God damn it, can't we get rid of these fucking worthless eaters, you know? And they're getting mad as hell and they're getting anxious. And they're trying to, I gotta try something else. We gotta capitalize on this thing. You know? There's no hysteria about heart disease. There's no hysteria about cancer. No one even cares. It's an industry. It's like, we got this covered. How many more people die from that? You don't even talk about all the tens of thousands of people that die every day of starvation. We don't have that discussion ever. No one even pays attention. So it's all of a sudden they care. Oh, we care so much. Oh. Yeah, you care when it, you know, supports your agenda, but you don't care about the people starving. And we could be brilliant as humans, as a species. We could be brilliant. We could get microbes into the ocean, and boom, the ocean could be clean again. We could tell all these chemical manufacturers, and we could all agree we don't need all those chemical soaps. We could have all these awesome technologies that just cleaned our clothes, that just grew our food. We could have awesome food, man. We could have fruit trees everywhere loaded with like Chicos that are like brown sugar and cinnamon that feed the microbes in your gut, because this whole thing, and then all the awesome microbes on the outside, and you just eat this whole thing. And we could have avocados and bananas and cucumbers, man, and fields of awesome fresh greens that don't have any poisons on them and are grown in rich soil. And we could have free electricity. We could be brilliant. I'm going to keep promoting it. We could be geniuses as a species, as a race. We could amplify our consciousness. We could fall in love with the light that we are. I'm falling in love with the light that I am. I'm in love with the light. I'm in love with the truth. The truth is my girlfriend. And we are going to make love all night long, all night long. You guys are thinking, I think Dan has the coronavirus. Dude, everything that they said about me being crazy, they were right. They were right. Oh. I think I'm going to be okay. I'm the good kind of crazy. The kind of crazy that actually makes it through the pandemic. Because I ain't going for the Hot Pockets or the toilet paper. I have plenty of toilet paper. But I could live easily. I ain't going to lie and say, you know what I'm saying? It was like, because it comes in handy sometimes. You go in there, you take a dookie, you got to get back out here real quick to your video or to your company or Star Wars Netflix movie last night. Dope. Check out The Rise of Skywalker. That was dope. So toilet paper is convenient, but dude, come on, man. I mean, is that really what you're thinking? Hot Pockets, soda pop, and toilet paper? I mean, there might be some other things that will come in handy. You know what I'm saying? Like I got like 5 years worth of soap. I got 6 months worth of food, 6 months worth of herbs, and nutraceuticals. And, obviously I'm going to be, all these farmers and stuff, the tourists are gone. So there's going to be less of a demand on all the farmers. So the farmers are going to have extra live food for old Danny boy, cucumbers and lettuce, all my favorite fresh stuff, and tons of fruit. And I could live off coconuts for days. I'll live off coconuts, turmeric, ginger. I'll throw black pepper in there, a little honey, and make some golden milk and live forever. You'll see me, what happened? I thought you weren't going to live that long, DTM. 217 years old, golden milk. What happened to everyone else? What happened to all the longevity experts? That's the funny thing. All these 20 or 30 something kids are all longevity experts. They're never going to get old, they're never going to get wrinkled, and they're never going to die. The problem is that all the other longevity experts, they're all dead. Every single one of them. So it's funny when you're alive, you think, I'll be immortal. I'll go on a carnivore diet and I'll never age because I'll have collagen. And then the vegans are like, I will never age because I don't eat dead animals, I will eat big bowls of vegan diarrhea and croissants with no butter, vegan butter. And the live food dude is like, his brain is working because he's eating living food and he's connected to the earth, and he's like, oh, this thing here, it's gonna wear out and die. Well, because that second divorce, it's like it's hard on your microbiome, All them nuts you be busting, that takes a lot of life out of you, son. That's why I keep the gate sealed. Can you dig it? We got some real talk today. It might be a while before I have my own church. Because the preacher can't get up there and be cursing like I am. But I accept myself, and I'm not perfect, and I don't want to be like anybody else. I don't want it to be like Lou Corona. I don't want to be like Tavis. I don't want to be like Christina. I love them all. I respect them. I love them for who they are. But I want to just be this dude. This is an old ass gangster. This is a yogi gangster for Christ. Chrism. For light within your own Christ consciousness. Unconditional love for yourself and for all life, and universal consciousness, oneness. I'm getting healthy for you, for all of us, for the birds. I love birds. I love pigs. I don't want to eat them. They don't look tasty. They're hairy ass beasts anyways, but they're cute. I don't want to eat them. I don't want to eat the chickens, but I feed the chickens. They don't look that good. I don't want to reach down. My mouth does not water when I see a chicken. But when I see this, I'm thinking now this is a butterball, baby. Ooh, and it's almost ready. Look at these tomatoes. Man, gorgeous purple Cherokee. The purple Cherokee is what changed my relationship with tomatoes for forevermore. Look at these Chicos, dead ass ripe. I'm gonna crack one open. That's gonna be my dinner. That juice is crying. I'm gonna show you something. Check it out. This is a Chico, man. Oh, praise the Lord. Man, that is, and you know what it tastes like? Maple syrup, cinnamon, and brown sugar all in one with a dash of vanilla. It's like cake. Can you dig it? Oh, Chico, and then I just eat the outside, and the outside is so dirty with so many microbes from the local environment. Oh. Oh. bad part. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. This is my little podium. They're gonna criticize you. It's none of your business. I don't want to drip this all over my turmeric and ginger. I really want to thank everyone over at Patreon. I'll be coming over there real soon to hook it up. Oh yeah. Oh, dude. If you ever get a chance to try a Chico, praise the Lord. So good. This one is just comes in crisp, and then it's just rounded out with this lingering sweetness. How's that? Maple syrup. Thank you for watching this video. I meant for it to be short. I try to keep the, whatever, because I got a bunch of questions about this. Uh-oh, fell on the floor. So I'll probably hit the stop button on this one. Oh, here comes that rain again, baby. And then I'll just do another quickie. Fruit's my food, Still have all my teeth? I don't know, man. I do it real smart, I'm just smart about it, everything. So I don't know, man. I had a lot to learn. Robert Morse, fruit. Lou Corona, protein. Taylor's Bradley, fat. I use them all. God bless you. Oh, this turned into AMSR. Oh, I love it. I don't even know what the hell people are doing. Watching some fool stuff himself with death. Highly processed death. Smacking his lips. I don't get it. I have no resonance with it whatsoever. All right now. Take care of yourself. What was it? 59? Man, you just managed to waste 5 minutes of your time the whole time eating one of these little bad boys. 2 more fat ripe ones left. DTM. I've met my hour mark. I don't know, man. I think things are going to be different from now on. Not just in the world, but from me on this channel. I'm just like, okay, no more Life Regenerator. Let's just be Dan McDonald. The yogi gangster for Christ. I don't like that Dan McDonald. Jesus wasn't a yogi. Oh, yes, he was. Oh, yes, he was.